we can be free. All the things I said, running through my head, running through my head, running through my head. All the things I said.
What's up, everyone? Today's video, I'm going to be spectating a bronze elo game and just nitpicking everything that he does wrong and trying to explain what he should be doing instead. I thought I'd switch it up from showing my own gameplay because most of you that are going to be watching these videos are probably going to be in lower elo, and I feel that this could resemble kind of your play style. Not saying that you're in bronze elo, but it'd be a better, it'd be easier for you guys to align yourself with the changes in your gameplay just by watching someone else in low elo and me explaining his faults. So this is going to be a full game, but I'm going to cut out all the parts where I don't really explain anything. So I'm going to try and get this video down to around 10 minutes, hopefully, maybe even less. I don't know. But yeah, here we go. So minions are just about to hit the middle now, and I'll jump back in when I see a mistake. So the first thing I do want to talk about is his choice to start Gromp instead of Krugs. Now, Jungle Path is actually something that's very strategic for most people. In high elo, if someone has a specific jungle path that's different than mine, it's because they have a plan. You know, they're not just doing it to do it. They have something they're thinking. But I would recommend, if you don't really have a plan and you're just like, oh, where should I would always start bottom buff. I think that bottom buff you get the leash from both your ADC and your support, and so that greatly increases your early game clear, and that allows you to snowball quicker. And in this meta right now, it's kind of important that you have a good early game and a good mid game power spike. So it all starts with your initial jungle clear. So I would recommend starting bot side buff, no matter if you're blue or red side. Now he decided to take dragon here. There's two things that he needs to think about when he takes dragon. One, how does his team respond? But the second thing that he should have done is he did have a pink ward, so you should put that down in the pit, or even just sweep if you want to save the pink, hold on to the pink. But he has two ways of getting rid of wards, and he didn't use either of them. So, if you're gonna try and sneak a dragon like that, then you do need to be making sure that you are utilizing your sweepers and your pink wards. If you do opt to go tracker's knife, which I think is pretty smart, especially on like a tank, you do want to actually be getting vision with those. Don't just buy a tracker knife and then kind of just have it sit in your bag, because they do recharge. So there's no like downside to placing a ward. I wouldn't have gone with Hunter's Potion on Zac. I would have just kept the refillable pot and then sold it once he didn't need it anymore, because he doesn't even have mana, and Zac's got a lot of sustain with his blobs. So, although they do get the kill here, I do want to point out a mistake in his ganking mechanics. So, if I rewind, okay, so he comes in, right? Nasus is overextended, so he doesn't need to go, and Renekton's about to stun him, so he doesn't need to lead with his slingshot, whatever it's called. All he has to do is walk up, and he has red buff. All he has to do here, instead of doing that, all he has to do is walk up and start autoing him, right? Because then if Nasus has flash there, obviously he didn't get out use it. He actually didn't have it at the time, but even if he had flash there, all he has to do is flash away, and now his gap closer's gone, he can get away. So it's good to save your, like I said this in the previous video, but there's a case in point right there, is to make sure you're waiting to use your gap closer when you need to use it. It's all about principle. Even though he still got the kill there, it's still something you should get in the habit of. Again, I actually like the Rift Herald call, but he did not sweep and he did not have a pink. So he's taking this blindly. They could have vision of this. You never know. So Okay, so let's take a look at the map right now. So Dragon is up, bot lane is back, and they have deep wards, so they do see Hecarim in his jungle. But yet they leave Dragon unwarded, and no one is corralling toward bot side. Now, I'm not saying that he should always be bot side when Dragon's up, but if Dragon's up, you need to make sure that there is some form of vision, especially if your bot lane backs, because then they can sneak it. So if your bot lane wants to back, this is between the jungler and the support. You kind of need to talk to them. Keep objectives like that worded. First drag's actually really important, and that was first drag given up right there to the other team. Now it's 1-1 in drags. So as Zac, I mean, Zac doesn't do that well with farm, right? Um, Zac's a champion that is going to get primarily he's going to win the game based off getting other people gold, right? Zac doesn't need a lot of any tank really. I'm not really a Zac player, but any tank like Zac who doesn't do a whole lot of damage, your focus is to get everyone else on your team gold. Yes, you need gold too, but farming a lane while there's a fight going on, that's not how you win as a tank jungler. So I think it was a little bit silly for him to be taking mid farm with Blitzcrank when there's a fight going on. You want to make your main focus as a tank is to just how can I get my teammate, my carries specifically, how can I get them gold so that we can win this game? Not how can I get myself more gold. Okay, so Zac has 2 wards available in his tracker's knife here at 29 minutes. There's a lot of fog of war that he can clear up just by placing a ward. And Renekton and Zac, they're not going to be able to shove a lane by themselves when everyone's alive. So there's no reason to be taking farm when you could be getting rid of those fog of war patches and then backing safely and prepping for another objective. Like Dragon just came up, Baron's up and not warded. Taking your red buff in this situation is it comes back to being aware of your team as a tank. First of all, that should be going to Lucian because Lucian is at the point in the game where he's going to need that. And this dragon could have been secured a lot earlier. So that's the thing about jungling is you're the shot caller, you're in charge, you're the quarterback. You have to be the one that's leading your team. Support can help with that too. I mean, anyone can really help with that, but because they sat and they waited and he took red instead of taking drag, now drag is going over to the other team, and that's now 3-1. So that's a really big power spike for them now. That could have cost them the game. All he had to do was notice that Katarine was top and that dragon was up, and make that call. You just have to. It's just a lot of micromanagement. Look at the map, see what's going on, use that information to make calls. Dragon is more important than you getting red buff, and sometimes like calls you have just an instant. If you don't make it in that instant, then the call becomes a bad call. And what they delayed way too long from taking that dragon, and now it costs them. So you have to be really decisive as a jungler. So I think that's a big point we could talk about is decisiveness. And you're not always going to make the right call, but if you're second guessing yourself, your call is always going to be wrong, because what's going to happen is you're going to wait too long, you're going to think about it too long, and then now what could have been a good call becomes a bad call because it's no longer available. So you have to you're going to get little windows as a shot caller, and if you're jungling, you should know how to shot call. Even if it's not through voice, even if it's just through pinging, you're going to give little windows of opportunity, and you need to understand how to recognize those. And that's going to come through experience, but you should get in the habit now of being very decisive with your calls. You see something, you call for it immediately. You don't hesitate. Again, by himself, mid lane. Fog of War, so doesn't know that zone is about to come. Not very smart. So, as a tank, you should not be trying to be the hero. Forfeit your role as trying to be the hero, and try and help other people become that hero, because you're not gonna be the hero as that. You're just not. You're not gonna be able to 1v1 or 1v2 an MF in a Sona. You just don't have the damage. That's just fine. These two should not be by themselves at any certain time if it's not just to get vision. There's no reason to be fighting as Blitzcrank and Zac. Regardless of what happens here, should not be fighting. Okay, so another prime example. 3 people are currently dead on the other team. Misfortune will be up soon, but they have everyone, all of their important people alive right now. But Lucian decides to go to Raptors while these two are going in. Now, Zac's doing the right thing here by going for the inhib because it's free. But why is Lucian over here? Maybe it was a bad ping. I don't know. Maybe he wasn't pinging. That's what I'm trying to get at. You have to be able to. You have to try your best to lead your team because, you know, as jungler, you have to be able to recognize those opportunities I was telling you about. But once he does decide, hey, I'm not gonna come help you. That's it. You can't do anything on your own really. As a tanky jungler, you can't. You're not gonna accomplish these things on your own. You need your team. So just back out. So as you can see here, these people aren't bronze because they have no idea how to hit keys correctly. They're bronze because they don't know what to. They have no game sense. They have no game knowledge. They don't know what to do when the opportunities are given. They're not taking the opportunities that are right in front of them, and that's kind of something I want to ingrain in your head, especially as a jungler, is to look for those opportunities and take them. Lucian should take this wave and then immediately roam up. Okay, they're proxying the wave. That's good. Okay, now back off after this. Back off. No, there's no reason to take the turret. See, like what? That's wasting a lot of time and health. With these 3, you're not going to shove a turret very fast. None of them have good pushing potential. And it looks like they're going to get caught for it. I think you guys are starting to understand what I'm talking about. This whole understanding where your team is regarding you. I mean, if we go back here, you can obviously see that no, Lucian's down here taking, I don't know what he's doing. He just finished that wave, and Echo's nowhere near being able to help him right now. Yet they overstay and just basically die for nothing because they didn't even get the turret, I'm pretty sure. And even if they do get the turret, okay, they get the turret, but what they're gonna lose is gonna be a lot worse. So one more time, let's rewind. What they should have done in this situation is clear this wave. That's fine. Clear this wave. Get out right here. Get out. Run. Prep Baron. They still have all this fog of war on Baron, and I don't understand why. You should be buying pinks. I don't know if he's already placed it. You should be buying more pinks, especially in the end of the game if you have space in your bags. Put a pink down in this area. Clear out the vision. Force them to face check, and then you can bait a fight into your favor. That's what they should do here. You don't have Lucian, and they have all 5 people about to spawn and collapse on you. You need to get out of there immediately. Get the vision control over Baron. That's important at the end of the game. Is you don't have to take Baron. Just having that vision control, it forces them to. They have to be the ones to make something happen. They have to go and get a risky ward, or they have to go and face check Baron. That's when you make your picks, and that's how you win the game. With this scenario here, when you have a small advantage, you can turn into a big advantage just by grabbing that vision control, making those picks, and worst case scenario, they don't fall for the pick, and you see MF show bot, and now you can just take Baron straight up. So there's a lot they could have done there, revolving around vision control in this area and making picks, but they chose to take a top turret for 2 deaths. And now, of course, we have the opposite scenario. They're backing when they could be getting Baron control. And he wastes his ult. This is just getting hard to watch. Let's see if they take Baron. Please take Baron. Killing him is fine. But take Baron. Please take Baron. Oh my goodness, they didn't take Baron. Cat, what are you doing, Cat? Nasus, what are you doing? Come help them with Baron, please. Now they can throw easily by having 3 people trying Baron. Okay, Nasus is finally coming, which is good. But they gave Echo time to disrupt them. And now MF dies. Now Hecarim dies. God, man, I feel bad if people are honestly trying to ping to your teammates what to do in this situation, they're just not listening. I feel bad for you. I mean, it happens to everyone, but That's just terrible. They could have won off that too. Now they have all the lane shoving. Oh, now they're in really bad position because now they can take Baron. Okay, so you see people in the base. This is another obvious Baron call. No one is utilizing Baron in this game. It's getting really hard to watch. 5 people live. Oh, man. They could have taken that Baron so easily. Second Dragon does not do anything. I mean, yeah, they want to deny 5th Drag. I get that. But they could have gotten Baron and Dragon off of that, really. Alright, guys. That's the game. Obviously, as you can see, a lot of flaws, mainly as a team. Not necessarily as a jungler, as a team, though. Alright. I want to give a special thanks to Diesel Sky for letting me spectate his game and explain his mistakes. Definitely takes some class to let someone do that to you, so thank you so much. If you guys enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. If you hated it, hit the dislike button. And if you want to be featured in a future Spectate game, please comment below and let me know. Thanks, guys.
I'm bad luck, baby, you know, it follows me around everywhere I go, and I don't need your sympathy, no, I need a fucking miracle. Oh, red wine, tea stain, it's been a long day, I just want your love, not your money. Leave me here, I'll be fine, I'll wait for the stars to align, cause oh, how the other half